On this episode of Bite Sized, we are watching and discussing the 6th scene of the movie The Twilight Saga, New Moon. For those of you watching along at home, that's from 8:34 to 11:03. And now, on to the episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Bite Sized. If this is your first episode, here's what's going on. My name's Ben.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are watching the movie The Twilight Saga, New Moon, one scene at a time. We watch roughly 90 seconds-ish of the movie The Twilight Saga, New Moon, and then we talk about it, and that's what we're doing. And now you know that we're doing that.
In case you didn't know.
Scene 6, Bella and Edward are in English class.
It's time for the big essay!
Yeah, but we don't get to see anything about essays. We're watching a little bit of Romeo and Juliet, and Bella and Edward are talking too loud the entire time, and then that's it. That's really the scene. So let's get into the details then. We are watching Romeo and Juliet. According to text message.
Yeah. What did I text you yesterday?
You said, and I quote, "I need y'all to know I just spent an hour trying to figure out which version of Romeo and Juliet they're watching in this next clip, and I found the exact version, and I feel very satisfied."
I do feel very satisfied.
Would you like to go ahead and share that with the class then?
Yeah, I just like to talk a little bit about the process of finding this, because I was just curious as we're watching the clip. I'm like, there's a million versions of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Which one is this? So I Googled it. I couldn't figure it out. I tried like reverse image searching. Like that first clip of Romeo and Juliet. All that comes up is stuff about Twilight New Moon.
Of course.
So then I looked on like Reddit and Facebook groups, and people were like, "Oh, it's the 1960s version," and even somebody
as if there was only one Romeo and Juliet that came out in the 1960s.
Well, the really famous one that came out in like 68.
Right.
The one that I know at least we watched when I was in high school.
Sure.
And I think a lot of folks watched when they were in high school. But even somebody in the comments there was like, this does not match the 1968 version. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not even close.
So I started going through Wikipedia, looking at all the different famous versions of Romeo and Juliet. Nothing was matching until finally I went, oh my God, just check the credits. See if they credit where they got the clip from. And they mention that they think BBC Motion Gallery.
Okay.
So so this is a BBC production.
Right. This
probably.
is a television production.
Yes, it is a television production. This is, and I think I might be the first person on the internet to figure this out, maybe somebody else somewhere. But they are officially watching the 1988 version from the BBC, starring Alan Rickman as Tybalt.
You're kidding.
I am not kidding.
Alan Rickman was kind of not in Twilight New Moon.
Alan Rickman was adjacent to Twilight.
Almost in Twilight New Moon.
A degree of separation from Twilight. I would also like to thank the version that I finally found that I could watch that matched this. I'd like to thank the Internet Archive, specifically George's Retro channel.
Thanks, George.
For uploading the whole VHS of the 1988 version so I could scroll to the very end of the movie and check and go, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Finally, my search is done.
Wow.
Oh, my love, my wife, death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty.
Let me say, though, Alan Rickman as Tybalt, he's real young, and he looks real fucking silly.
Does he sound exactly like Alan Rickman, though?
Fools! Put up your swords! You know not what you do!
Stand me, Benvolio. Look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Here!
What, drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee.
And he has just a really short haircut, and he just looks like a little nerd.
Okay.
He just looks like a little guy.
They are watching what I would assume, I'm not a Shakespeare scholar, but I would assume it's the last scene.
It is. It is
Yeah.
Act 5, Scene 3, which is the very last scene of Romeo and Juliet.
Right. Juliet is fake dead.
Juliet is fake dead.
Romeo doesn't know
Romeo
that.
bamboozled.
He about to be real dead.
He about to be so dead, and then she about to be so dead.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Because he doesn't know how to check vital signs.
No. Were they not teaching anyone? Well, I guess it was like, what, 1600s?
Something like that.
I don't know what actual year Romeo and Juliet is supposed to take.
I don't either. I would assume 1516s, somewhere before the invention of Red Cross CPR courses.
He didn't check her humors or anything? Try to check her bile?
Hey, Editor Ben here, just popping in to say really quick that the poison that Friar Lawrence gives to Juliet, he explicitly tells her that it's going to like suppress her vital signs and give her the appearance of death. I don't know if such a thing is really possible, and I doubt Shakespeare did either, but it's part of the fiction of the story. And if we hadn't mentioned it, somebody was going to email us about it. Okay, bye!
Before we see Bella and Edward, we see sort of her coterie of friends who are a few rows up. Bella and Edward are now squarely back row kids.
Yeah, they're all the way in the back. They're the cool kids.
But 201, all of Bella's human friends are crying, like ugly, like weeping at this televised BBC production of Romeo and Juliet. And I don't think that's what a high school student would be doing.
I don't think so either.
Maybe one or two.
Yeah, I think maybe one max.
Yeah.
I think like maybe a little sniffle because it is, sad, especially when you're, I don't know, I think it's different when you're 15, 16, that age of Romeo and Juliet and like, oh my God, they died for love. And what if I died for love?
Right.
And you got big feelings about it. I don't think that many people would be crying over Romeo and Juliet.
If there's one thing high school boys don't enjoy doing, it's cry in public.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, listen, I cried a lot in public in middle and high school. Can't say didn't like it then either.
Right. That is true.
It's okay. Here's the thing. I hate vulnerability, and my therapist and I have joked for years about how much I, quote unquote, dislike Brene Brown because her whole thing is on being vulnerable. And I'm like, stop it. Leave me alone, Brene. I will be vulnerable when I want to be vulnerable. You don't tell me when to be vulnerable.
Edward and Bella are talking, and they're talking not that much more quiet than you and I are speaking right now.
They're talking at such a loud volume that, of course, they fucking get called out. Like, guys, shut the fuck up.
I hate being celebrated.
There are worse tragedies. Look at Romeo. He killed his true love out of sheer stupidity.
Yeah. They're bad kids. They're in the back of the room. They think nobody can hear them.
Like guys Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson 15 years ago, 16 years ago, whatever, learned how to stage whisper.
You know what? Maybe, Edward's telepathic. He's reading people's thoughts. Maybe he knows that everybody's crying and so distracted by this movie and they're so invested. He's like, they will not give a shit if I talk. They're focused.
I guess.
They're not paying attention to me.
Yeah. I mean, though, you run a risk doing this sitting in the back row.
Yeah.
I had some friends and I at church who would sometimes talk in large group settings.
Yeah.
And we had sort of our contingency plan if one of us was accidentally too loud and everybody started to turn around, is we would just also turn around and look at the row behind us as if, oh man, we also don't know where that came from. And then one day we were sitting in the back row and tried to do that and it didn't work.
Oh no. So you got to be second to last row.
You got to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So the sound could have come from anywhere.
Yeah.
Unless, you got to rely on your fellow students who know exactly who it was to not narc you out.
Although, based on what they're talking about, it's like, well, yeah, of course the Cullen kid is talking about this. He's the moodiest sad boy ever.
Right.
I don't know who else would be talking about this.
And it's here that we get to a light content warning.
Yeah, everybody, hey, content warning.
Ahoy.
We're going to talk about suicide a little bit. I mean, to be fair, a plot point of Romeo and Juliet.
We're going to be a lot more cool about it than the movie is.
We are.
Yeah.
I certainly hope. But content warning, if you're sensitive to this, skip ahead a few minutes.
Right, hit that skip button.
You can skip ahead to time code 1813.
I do envy him one thing.
Juliet is like perfect. If you like that obviously beautiful sort of thing.
Not the girl, the suicide. It's nearly impossible for some people. For humans, a little poison, a dagger to the heart. There's so many different options.
How would she say that?
Just had to consider it once. I didn't know if I'd get you in time. I had to come up with some kind of plan.
What was the plan?
I'd go to Italy and provoke the Volturi.
If I didn't save you, I would have myself had to die.
I too would have to be a Romeo.
Right.
Yeah, he says he envies that Romeo can commit suicide.
Yeah, these are completely bananas, inappropriate things to say.
Yes, they are.
In general.
In general.
But B, to a 17-year-old that you've known for about 6 months.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. To say, hey, listen, I know we're 17 and in love, but like if you died, I'd have to die.
I would have had no choice but to die.
There's nothing else in my life worth living for except you described as a very plain teenage girl.
That is a decision that I made after knowing you roughly 6 weeks of my over 100 years of living.
God damn.
Come on, man.
Like, Edward.
Believe in yourself a little more.
Yeah.
That even if this one person you kind of knew for a little bit were to die, you could move on.
You could.
Life continues.
Life goes on. Life gets great,
And B, these are things we don't say to our partners.
Don't say that. That's an inside thought. Right. That we journal about. We talk to a vampire therapist about.
Yeah.
Although, how easy is it for like him to go to therapy? As a vampire.
I mean, just as a vampire, I don't know.
Yeah.
As a young man, a high school aged man in 2009, very hard.
Literally impossible. You're right.
That I do know something about. I've never been a vampire before, but I have been a young man in the mid to late 2000s. And my mother did try to bring me to therapy once, and it did not go well.
Okay,
I was not an active participant. I was answering the questions that were asked of me, but I was not.
You're not. This is surface level. Right. You're not getting anything deeper.
Right. Especially because my mom was in the room with me and the therapist.
No.
That was. We don't have to talk about.
Yeah.
That
No,
now.
that's fine. Okay. So Edward needs another outlet that's not therapy. I mean, he could just play baseball with his family.
Sure.
Have we considered just getting this man an Xbox and letting him play COD?
Maybe, and he'd be really good at it with his vampire reflexes.
Like, just shoot some guys, yell at people on mic. I don't normally advocate for the toxicity of online gaming spaces, but I don't know, man. If you just got to yell a little bit about how much it sucks to be a 109-year-old, 17-year-old, and you just got to let some feelings out. That feels like the way to do it as a teen boy in 2005.
Yeah, write a poem or something. How did I process my feelings as a teen boy in 2009? I didn't, and I think that didn't have any long-term implications for the rest of my life. It's probably fine.
Use Tumblr like every teen girl my age. I just reblogged sad shit on Tumblr and was like, this is so me.
Does that Tumblr still exist?
No, you know what? I deleted it.
Wow.
As a gift to my former self, to my younger self, I deleted it.
That's great.
Deleted everything as sort of a, hey, you know what? This was a moment in time, and this was me being vulnerable on the internet because it's not actually like me.
Yeah.
And you know what? I released this.
Right.
I free you. There is no record of this anymore.
Yeah.
I do know that I had a post at one point because I read it on stream a few years ago before I deleted it. At some point, my friend and I had gone to see like a musical downtown, and I wrote on Tumblr after that, like, I was sitting in the theater and I was just thinking about like how nice it would be to kiss my best friend. Is that weird for me to be thinking that?
Was his best friend a girl?
His best friend was a girl, and it's like ding 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 ding. The call's coming from inside the house. I'm like, I mean, maybe I'm bi. I don't really know. And then we just kind of put that on a shelf, and then we didn't touch that again until college. But yeah, I was like, listen, this is a younger, vulnerable me, and I don't know, somehow somebody stumbling on this one day and being like, oh, look at all your most intimate thoughts from when you were 15 and sad. So I just deleted it.
Another one of the many advantages of the just bottle up your feelings and never talk about them to anyone or anything is that you don't have a Tumblr like that, or in my case, a Tumblr at all.
No digital footprint.
Yeah, not
well, in regards to that.
Right, exactly. Other than this podcast.
Yeah, this is your biggest digital footprint.
Right.
We cover it all.
We don't talk about our feelings.
No.
We don't talk about girls we want to kiss.
No.
We just
stupid. We don't talk about how we wanted to kiss our best friend at The Lion King.
The Lion King?
The Lion King on tour.
The most romantic of the Disney musicals.
I know.
Yeah, he says he envies Romeo, and Bella's like, oh, because he's got a pretty lady like Juliet.
I mean, yeah, who wouldn't like a pretty lady? And he's like, no, idiot.
Because he gets to die.
You guys are dying. I can't die. I'm going to go to Italy.
They are talking about this again at about full blast.
This is their first mention of the Volturi, right?
It is, yes. Before we get there, though, Edward says that he's talking about his death. And he says it's nearly impossible for some people, as if he knew he was trying to convey that it is impossible for vampires to kill themselves. Mm-hmm. But if he knew that if he said vampires in class, he could maybe get in trouble.
So he does know he's talking too loud.
Yeah. So he just says some people. But then he immediately starts, the next sentence starts with, for humans, which is, if you're trying to lay low, maybe that's not the best approach.
No, because it just sounds so unnatural, just like when people nowadays, and I feel like this is mostly an online thing, refer to women as females.
Oh, yeah.
That is not a normal way to talk. You sound stupid.
No, you sound like an alien scientist.
You sound like an alien who's like, yes, I too am a person.
The females of the species.
I'm like, shut the fuck up.
He's saying all these things, and Bella responds with, why would you say that? Which is the first good question she's asked in a long time. Bella,
because what else are you supposed to say? Bella is not equipped in any way. Bella has no support system other than this man, and her one piece of joy in her life, I guess, other than, Jacob provides her joy, but like she's not incredibly close with her dad or her mom. Like Edward really is like her one outlet, and this outlet's like, if you go, I go.
Right. This one outlet.
If you're out, I'm out.
Is constantly saying the heaviest shit to her.
Yes.
And reminding her how important she is, and also, I could hurt you at any time, but if you get hurt, I will die.
Right. Listener, if your real human partner or your vampire partner, I don't know your life, ever says anything like this, run, tell a trusted adult.
Yeah.
This is not your responsibility. Yeet yourself out of that situation.
Right.
This is not healthy in any way.
Definitely not.
Bite Size does not endorse anything that Edward is saying.
No, and I don't know that we ever have, to be frank. But yes, he says his plan, if he couldn't save Bella there in the dance studio, was to go to Italy. Should have ended the sentence there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to a nice vacation.
Just move to Italy.
He's going to have some wine.
Yeah, a little limoncello.
Fun fact, I visited my great aunt in New Jersey recently.
Okay.
Because I was there for a wedding. And she doesn't pronounce it Italy. She pronounced it Italy.
Italy. Interesting.
Yep, that's a old Staten Island in her.
Very, yeah. That's Jersey Murph coming out.
Italy.
He says he's going to provoke the Volturi, and Bella says, "Who are the Volturi?" But we don't get to find that out today.
We don't get to know that now.
Because Mr. Teacher stops the movie and turns on the lights and says,
"Who would like to repeat the last few lines of iambic pentameter just to show they were paying attention?" Mr. Cullen.
Yes, Mr. Birdie.
Okay, now here's what I think is the funniest bit of this, because I wasn't sure exactly where in the play this fell, other than I know it's near the end, but I don't know how many scenes are after this. It's been a while since I read Romeo and Juliet. So the lines that we'll see, Edward ends up reciting some stuff. Edward starts, he recites 6 lines of dialogue that end at line 110 of that scene.
Okay.
The whole play ends at 310. So my man is pausing the movie about 5 minutes before it ends to say, prove to me you're paying attention.
Yeah.
Why not just fucking finish the movie? Who gives a shit at that point?
He has to own this high schooler.
He's got to get him.
He's been letting them talk at a normal speaking volume for too long. He's got to rein him back in.
We only have 200 more lines of iambic pentameter to get through, but by God, I'm stopping this now.
Or alternately,
here's
my fun new theory. He's also a vampire. And he heard Edward just name drop the Volturi in public.
And said, shut the fuck
and it was
up,
like,
shut
hey,
up,
man.
Shut up.
Be cool. That's what I've decided is true.
Yeah, this is official bite-sized headcanon.
Yeah.
Is that man's like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Oh my God.
Mr. Birdie is sort of their Volturi handler.
Yes.
Sort of deposited in Forks to keep an eye on
they're
them.
diplomat, you know?
Yeah.
They're liaison between the Volturi and Forks.
It's that guy, Mr. Poe.
Mr. Poe?
From a series of unfortunate events.
Oh, yes.
I don't know why I chose that as my frame of reference,
Hey,
but that
it's a
was
good
what
book
jumped
series.
into my head. Good TV series, too.
But yeah, he makes Edwards, he stops everything for him to recite this literally about 5 minutes before the movie ends.
Right. And before Edward starts reciting this, he takes a very deep breath,
He's like,
which is something that vampires don't need to do.
No.
So he was taking that breath solely to be just sort of a little twerp about
shit.
it.
Oh, fuck. What does a teen boy do? Fuck.
Yeah, and
breathe.
To be fair, if you asked a teen boy a question with the sort of attitude that Mr. Birdie did, he would absolutely respond with sort of a big annoyed inhale and exhale.
Yeah.
But we got to appreciate the drama queen in Edward breathing as a choice to convey how annoyed he is that he has to put up with this small man.
This small man and recite iambic pentameter from memory.
Yeah.
Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, know you the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death.
I can't remember what I fucking ate for breakfast most days. You're just like,
Well,
teen, recite 6 lines of iambic pentameter, go.
I'm sure Mr. Birdie wasn't expecting that much.
Oh,
I'm sure he was hoping
wasn't.
for at least a few words.
Yeah.
Or
just a got him.
Or just a sorry, Mr. Birdie, I'll shut up. That's my Edward impression.
Yeah. One more time for everybody.
Sorry, Mr. Birdie, I'll shut up. Sandy. And then Edward goes and races for pink slips or something like that.
And Bella goes to sing, but now there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah, something like that.
Hopelessly devoted. He goes and recites part of Romeo's last monologue, which is him saying, arms, take your last embrace, lips, do your last smooching.
Do your thing.
Hey, body, do your thing, because we out.
Right. And sort of the implication here is that Edward, I guess, just knows probably not all, but at the very least large chunks of Romeo and Juliet by heart, because he's been repeating high school for a long time, which means he's read and had to sort of write about Romeo and Juliet once every 4 years for the last several decades, which I guess would kind of drive me crazy too.
Yeah.
So I can sort of understand what I'm a little sympathetic to what he's going through in this moment.
Yeah.
But don't talk to Bella like that.
No, don't leave our girl alone.
Right.
Also, you know what probably makes this worse for
What's
Edward?
that?
I was looking at like the backstories of all the characters because there's a Twilight Illustrated guide that came out with like more stuff from Stephanie Meyer about like all their backgrounds.
Yeah.
Per the Illustrated guide, Edward has 2 medical degrees. And my man is stuck in high school Shakespeare.
Yeah. Why 2?
I don't know. He got 2 medical degrees because he
Okay.
do be studying. So I guess he did go to college at some point. He got 2 medical degrees.
Right.
And now he's back in high school.
And I get
Hell on earth.
Yes, that's gotta suck.
Yeah.
Why not, I don't know, work for your dad as some sort of also doc? Why is your guise then, I'm a high school student? I get that like when he was turned in the 19 teens or whatever, you could be 17 and go to medical school.
Yeah.
They'd be like, sure, kid, whatever. Be a Doogie Howser.
Yeah, why not? Nowadays,
Right. That is such a weird choice to make for Edward, is to say that, yeah, it's a couple, at least twice, instead of just reverting to freshman year when he graduated high school. He just went on through college. And why hasn't he done that a lot? And at what point is he going to decide to stop going to high school? And can maybe that day come soon?
Do you think that if this were written closer to today, that the Cullens would just be like homeschooled?
No, because then Bella would never meet him.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But
I just think with their life, it makes more sense to be like, oh, yeah, they're homeschool kids.
Knowing everything we know about the Cullens and Stephanie Meyer, yes, they should be, by all means, be homeschooled. But for plot purposes, he has to be in Forks High, You
know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, plot gods. What was I thinking?
Sorry, homeschoolers. But yeah, everyone turns to look at him, and he does it, and the teacher says,
Eyes on the screen, people.
We're going to finish the last 5 minutes of this movie.
Right. And then all the students turn back around to look at the TV, except for one girl who just looks at Edward and smiles the whole time. And I don't think that actor got the memo that she's not supposed to like Edward.
No.
That she's supposed to think he's some sort of weirdo creep.
This is super weird.
It's like she decided my character has a crush on Edward, and I'm going to look at Robert Pattinson for as long as I can.
She's got that subtext.
Yeah, everyone else is turned to look at Edward and then turns back towards the movie, except for this one girl who is just eyes on Edward the entire time.
I wonder if that was just a mistake in editing, that they just did not catch his, oh shit, somebody's looking at him. Because I did notice if you go to 157 in this scene, as it's like pushing forward the camera towards Edward, the camera does a little shake. At one point, and I was like, "Oh, you guys didn't catch that!
Oh, a little wibble.
It do like a little weeble wobble as it's pushing it on Edward.
Way to go, guys!
Yeah, editors,
nerds.
Got them.
And that's the end of my notes about this scene.
Yeah,
only
only other thing I wrote is that after that, they go back to watching the movie, and then Bella's just like staring at Edward.
Yeah, because how do you respond to the things that he just said?
Like, what the fuck?
If she has any sense at all, what's going through her mind is like, how do I break up with this man?
I gotta get the fuck out of here. But she's not, because we know she's like, I love you so much.
Right. And if he has said all of the things that he has said in this scene, she is sort of held emotionally hostage.
Poor Bella.
Yeah,
it's only getting worse.
I didn't mean to bum us out here at the end of the episode, but
the Twilight Saga wouldn't exist if Edward could just go to telehealth.
Yeah, that is true, and that's why we need to destigmatize therapy and things like that. Yeah. So if you had to give this scene a name, what would it be? And this is also going to be the name of the episode, so make it good and try to make it funny because we got real serious for a minute there.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, title of this episode is going to be Alan Rickman could have been in Twilight.
Alan Rickman could have been in Twilight. I like that. It's kind of clickbait.
Thank you.
I like people...
Yeah, because it's true.
Right.
If they had showed a different clip, Alan Rickman could have been in Twilight.
You're absolutely true. And maybe someone who's never heard the show before will see that episode title and think, wow, Alan Rickman could have been in Twilight, and then be disappointed at how little we talk about that. They're going to get about 8 minutes into the episode and be like, oh, so we're just done with that?
Yeah, we're done now.
That's not the entire point of this episode. But hey, we're done. We're wrapping it up now.
We're wrapping it up.
Sarah Murphy.
Hey.
Anything you want to promote?
I want to promote going to therapy. I want to promote taking care of yourself. I want to promote my blue sky at Oops All Smurf.
Follow the show at bitesizedpod_ on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at bitesizedpod, no underscore on Tumblr. You can send an email to the show at myfavoritetwilightpodcast@gmail.com. And go to patreon.com/twilightpodcast to hear us talk about movies that the Twilight actors were in before they were in Twilight. We just, as of this recording yesterday, we posted our discussion of The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which is... I always listen to things before I post them just to, for quality control.
Yeah, how is it?
I listened to it twice because it was that good.
It's that good?
I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And I think I may post it as just a little freebie sort of, hey, this is what you can hear.
Oh my God,
This is the kind of thing you can listen to more for a piddling $5 a month. All of that awaits you at patreon.com/Twilight Podcast, a generic URL that's easy to remember.
Yes.
Thank you to the band Swimwear Department for letting me use their song Mauled to Death as our theme. Thank you to Ben Oxher for being my editor and putting this all together. And
Thanks,
that is
Ben.
it. That is all we have for this episode of Bite Size. As we always say at the end of every episode,
more therapy for vampires.
More therapy for vampires. See you next time.
Bye.
We mean it.
love is real, and we found it.
Love is real. Love is blind.
Love is vampires.
If there's one thing we've learned over 7 seasons of that show, love is blind.
Love is blind. Sometimes.
Yeah. And yet we keep asking in different cities around America.
Maybe in this city, it'll be different.
Maybe one day we'll get to talk about my beef with that show.
That's, you know what? Patreon episode.
Patreon episode.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Why I hate Love is Blind. But back to Romeo and Juliet.